Hi guys, welcome back for part 2 of our glue resist oil pastel pumpkins. You guys have used the oil pastels before, but I want to review with you quickly a few important things to remember. So always keep the tips of them clean. So when you've got other colors mixed on there, you want to make sure to use that damp paper towel or the baby wipe that you have so that it's all cleaned off. Also remember that they will smudge and smear if you put your hand on your paper as you're working. So we're going to try to remember to turn our page as we're coloring so that we're not laying our hand down in an area that we've already colored. So we're going to be using our orange, brown, green, and white. Might use a little bit of black just so we can blend into the shadow. But let's go ahead and start off by coloring in our pumpkin. So just like in a coloring book, we're going to color in between the glue lines. We do not want to put the oil pastel on top of the glue line to bury it. If it gets on the glue line, that's okay, but we just don't want to do it on purpose. So we're just going to color in all of the areas of the pumpkin. I kind of just do like we do when we are coloring in with our crayons. Just go around the edges first, then you're going to fill it in and you can go a little faster. All right, now I don't want to put my hand in that because I'm going to smear it, so I'm going to turn my paper. Turn the paper so I can lay my hand down and color neatly without smudging what I've already colored. All the way, oh, that happens sometimes. Go all the way around the edges and fill in the center. Go a little faster in there. That's what happens if you push too hard, they'll just snap right in half. They're not as hard as crayons are. Very soft. All right, going on to the next shape. If you're not keeping up with me, you can always pause the video, finish coloring it in, and then join back in. But this is actually making it go a lot faster now that I'm laying it on its side. That's going a lot faster. Almost done with the pumpkin. All the way around the glue line. Oops, across the glue line. When that happens, you can just rub it right off the glue. Comes right off. Let's continue coloring. Try not to leave any scribble marks. Always try to completely color in the shape. And one more section. And I'm done with my orange. Look at how the glue lines show the black construction paper from underneath. I love it. Such a cool effect. You can do that with any color of construction paper. You can make a drawing on red construction paper and you'll get those nice red lines in your drawing. All right, got some chunks. I'm gonna tap my paper. Get those chunks off, brush it away from the table. You don't want to brush it on top of your project because then you're going to smear everything everywhere. All right, we've got our orange done. Let's go for the brown next. We're going to do this stem. Same thing. Color all the way around the edges, right up against the glue, not on top. And color it all the way in. A little tiny bit of the stem top on there. All right, now we can go for our green. In my box of color oil pastels, I have a dark green and a light green. So you would use whichever green you like. I'm gonna use the light green for my leaf and I'm gonna use the dark green for my grass. So I'm gonna put my dark green aside. Turn my paper so I don't smudge. And once again, color right up to the glue line. Try not to color on top of it. Fill it in all the way. Almost there. There we go. Got our pumpkin and our leaf colored. Now I'm going to do the grass. Same thing. Don't color it in the shadow though. We're going to leave the shadow. We're going to use the black. We're going to go ahead and use the black oil pastel for the shadow. The black oil pastel is a lot darker than this black construction paper, so it's really going to be nice and dark. It'll be dark like these glue lines are. All right, so I don't want to color my shadow with the green. Going around. Just like when we color shapes in class, I'm going to go around the edge first. Always do that first. It helps you stay in the lines and color neatly. There we go. Now I can go a little bit faster. Careful on the edges. You might want to put a newspaper or a scrap piece of paper underneath your drawing as you're coloring so you don't mess up your table. This is my table just for art, so I don't mind getting it a little dirty. Okay, gotta turn my paper some more. Notice how I'm not leaving any scribble marks. I'm not just coloring it like this and leaving it at that. We want it a nice, smooth, solid color. Fill in all those little spots. You're going to see some of the black construction paper through your color, but you want to cover it the best you can. Almost there. I can't wait to get to the blending part. That's my favorite part. That's when the magic happens. I think I'm going to get a little green on my fingers. Not too bad. Remember, that's what your damp paper towel or baby wipe is for, because the color will come off of your skin better with those than it will with just wiping it with something dry. All right. Ooh, it's looking so cool. Let's take the black now, and we're going to color in the shadow. Look how much darker this oil pastel is than the paper. This is really going to make that shadow stand out. Nice and dark. Right up against the line. Got a tiny bit of wet glue right there. I gotta be really careful. You guys let yours dry for a whole week, but mine's just been drying today. So got a little wet spot still. This would not come out the same at all if we were using white paper. It would just not look the same. All right, now it's nicely colored, but we can still make it even better by putting some highlights and shadows in our pumpkin. So since I have my black in my hand, I'm gonna go ahead and put some shadows on this side of the pumpkin. Where this shadow is. We put that shadow there because we decided that our light was shining from this direction. So all of our highlights, the lighter colors, will be over here, and all of the darker shadow areas will be on this side. So I'm going to come in here at the very bottom of my pumpkin, and I'm just going to draw a line right against the glue just at the bottom. Just at the bottom here. I don't want to go too much this way, so I'm going to stick on this side. That's pretty good right there. Make sure it's nice and thick. All right, now let's do the same thing up here. Just around the tippy top. Just a little outline right on top of your orange. There we go. Maybe a little bit on that side too. All right, now this is where we get our fingers really messy. And we're not gonna rub back and forth because that's just gonna take all the oil pastel that we just spent time coloring off of the paper. It's gonna roll it into little balls and it's just gonna become a muddy, smudgy mess. So we're gonna take our pointer finger and we're gonna gently rub up, up, up. You can see now that it's not such a harsh line. It's kind of fuzzy and blurry. It's like a slow shadow, gradual shadow. Go this way. We're just following the lines that we colored. Starts to get a little balled up. Just tap it off your paper. Keep going. All right, let's do this part here. Gently smear it and smudge it. Gently, gently. Awesome. Now we have some cool shadows. Now if you think it looks too muddy, you can always go back on top of it with the orange again, but you always got to blend it, because if you don't blend it, you're going to get those harsh, sharp lines, and you want it to be a little bit fuzzy, like a shadow. Okay, now we've got the shadow side. Let's do some highlights. So we need our white. My white's a little bit dirty, so I'm going to take my wipe and I'm going to roll and twist until it gets all cleaned off. There we go. That looks good. All right, the light is shining on this side. So we're gonna have some shiny parts of our pumpkin over here. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the black, but we're gonna do it with the white on the other side. This is where the light is shining directly on our pumpkin. It's also shining a little bit on the stem here. And we could even put a little highlight on our leaf. There we go. All right, finger time. My finger's black. I don't want to put that black on my highlight. So I'm going to use my wipey. Squeaking. Get it nice and clean. Has to be something wet. Wet paper towel, wet wipey. There we go. That looks good. Gently smear the white, just like we did the black. Gently, just pull it. I think it needs just a little bit more. Just a little more. I'm going to go back over it one more time. Maybe come down just a little further over here. All right, one more little blend and I think we're gonna be done. All right, tap the ball, little balls of oil pastel. Gather up, get them all off of there. And voila, a 3D glue resist oil pastel pumpkin with shadow and all. Good job, guys. Can't wait to see them.